Are you someone that is currently trading with fear? You can hardly pull the trigger to place a trade, or you're just getting out of the trade far too quickly because you see a profit and you're scared that it's going to go against you and you're going to get stopped out of the trade. It is a horrible place to be. I really do feel for you. And I think that virtually every trader that's successful goes through a period of time where they trade with fear. So what we're going to do now, we're going to dive into the presentation. Hopefully we're going to help you here and get you out of this fearful trading, because it isn't a nice place to be, guys. Let's dive in. When we have fear, a chemical reaction kicks off in the brain. It's there to protect us. Here's the basic breakdown. Amygdala activation is the part of the brain that fires immediately when you're fearing something. Now, also the hormones, the stress hormones, the stress reactors here is adrenaline and cortisol. Now, adrenaline boosts your heart rate. So that's why when you're sitting here fearful, your heart rate gets up, you get a bit red and you're sharpening your focus and you're ready to act fast. It's that fight or flight influence that I'm sure you've heard about. Now, cortisol keeps you alert and heightens all this and your stress levels for longer periods of time. And you know that people, the soldiers that are special forces, the high cortisol levels, they learn how to manage that, okay? Now, the physical effects of this, the chemical reaction, physical effects, is that you feel tense, your heart races, your palm sweats, and your thinking narrows, all because your body's preparing you to either fight, escape, or flight. So when you're in this moment of fear as a trader, you maybe start to sweat up a little bit. You're so narrow focused, you probably can't hear people talking or noises around you in your trading office. You know, you are so focused in this moment. And this is why you click the mouse. One of the reasons you click your mouse to get out of a trade quickly, because you are so focused, you're not relaxed at all. So in trading, even though there's no physical danger, we're not going to get eaten by lions, the brain treats financial risk as a survival threat. That's why fear can feel so strong even when you're just clicking a mouse. Trading is the hardest way to make an easy living, okay? Because you're sitting here, you can just easily click this mouse. And if you've got no plan, it will soon go wrong. And there's no doubt about it that you're in this state at the moment as a trader, the fearful state, because you're probably traded randomly. You've got no structure. You've got no trading plan. And you're not following some pre-market routine. Okay, so look, let's not beat yourself up about this. Let's just chill out and relax a little bit at the moment. I know it's difficult if you're trading with fear, and if you're somebody who's watching this video that isn't trading with fear currently, then you're probably wondering what the fuss is all about. But I assure you, if you are someone that is trading or in the state at the moment where you're trading with fear, it is not a nice place to be. So let's go through the interventions of what you could do here, because it is a lonely place. Now, you've got to get some oxygen into the brain straight away and start breathing, getting, 4-second breathing in and out and in and out. Just get the shoulders back. Go for a walk and get some breathing going, okay? Because this is not a good place to be. We got to get oxygen to the brain. Also have pre-session rituals, a routine that you're going to follow. Okay, this isn't probably going to help you right now, but once you get out the state of fearful trading, put yourself a plan, a routine to follow before you start trading, especially if you're a serious trader, okay? So when I used to play football, I used to hate being late for the game. So I'd turn up for the game in plenty of time. My stress reaction was zero because there was no stress. I was there on time. If I was late, my stress reaction would feel out of control. I didn't feel like I planned. I didn't feel like I prepped. And I didn't feel like I had any routine. Now, if you're somebody that watches golf, all the professional golfers have a routine before they take a shot. And every shot, it could go wrong. So they've got this routine and they go to that routine where they feel comfortable, and it's a place that they practice many, many times. Traders that are just, playing with this don't have that. They don't have that routine. And this is especially true for day traders because it's quicker to lose money as a day trader than it is as a swing trader. So as a day trader, you've got to work on this, the pre-market routine. Go through it. And once you've gone through it 20, 30 times, then you start to become an expert in this routine. It's well worth it, guys, because this is all about freedom and making money for you personally and yourself. This is worth doing, okay? So review your trading plan, identify some key levels on a chart. That's the technical side of stuff. Visualize staying calm whenever you win or lose, okay? Now, that's the pre-market routine, but we also want to look at some positive self-talk. And I use positive self-talk a lot, and I did especially in my football days before I'd play a match in front of 30,000 people, and at times 60,000 70,000 fans I would play in front of. And if you go back to watch a video online of me playing against Newcastle United in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, when I walked out on the pitch, self-talk in my head, of course, and I was just so focused that day. Now, trust your system, trust your trading system. A loss is just part of trading. I know it doesn't feel good taking a losing trade for anyone, but it is part of it, guys. It is part of being a successful trader. But talking to yourself here that you're going to follow your trading strategy. We're going to get into what you could do immediately right now. I suppose the positive self-talk comes after you've got out of the state of being a fearful trader. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to focus on the process when you start taking your next trades and not the outcome. Yes, it is hard to do, but this changed it around for me, okay? This was what took me from a losing trader for 18 months into somebody trading consistently better and better and better. And then I realized what the secret of trading was. The secret of trading was having a trading strategy that you're an expert in, and you can see it on a chart. And when it appears, you place the trade without hesitation. You do not focus on the outcome. The outcome will come after. It's a byproduct. The first thing is you've got to get good at following the process of the trade strategy, okay? So will this trade win or lose? You really don't want to care about that. I know it's easier said than done, because when you get that winning trade, the adrenaline kicks in and, dopamine kicks in because you're loving it, that you've just done well. It makes you feel good. And when you have a losing trade, it makes you feel rubbish. It's all part of trading. You've got to learn how to cope with both of those factors. All right. Now, back testing. This was it. All right. This was the aha moment for me. Trading strategy which presents itself on a chart with indicators of your choice. So I got myself a chart strategy back in 2004, and I back tested to my eyes started to literally fall asleep and bleed. To the early hours of morning, I back tested one trade strategy. You don't have to trade it, back test all night, of course, but go back as far on a chart as you possibly can do. Now, what this does, if you're currently trading with fear, is that it will start to build the confidence back up for you. It will start to make you realize that it's not the strategy, it's actually you that is losing the money, not the strategy. So that, I know that sounds the wrong way round, but what that identifies is that you can adjust now. The strategy makes money, that's good. Brilliant. We're happy with that. Now, if I just follow the strategy to the best of my ability, because it's had a series of back testing results, then I should, going forward trading, I should make money. There's no guarantees the strategy is going to continue to make money, but if you've got a good solid trading strategy on a chart, and it's made some really good money before, it's likely to make really good money into the future if you follow that strategy. Now, when you're back testing to build this confidence, go back as far as you possibly can, okay? Now, it will build the confidence back up. Now, what you want to do, and you're probably asking, okay, well, if I'm back testing my trading strategy, what's my profit target? What am I testing on the profit target? What am I testing on the stop loss distance? What I would do is just have a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So you place the trade, you've got one risk, one reward, okay? They're exactly the same, because what happens here is if you get the data that your trades make more winning trades than losing trades, and you've got a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, then some of those trades within that sample are going to go on 2, 3, 4, and 5-to-1 reward. So if the trading strategy has a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio and it has more winning trades, you're going to make money. But you're going to make even more money if it has 3, 4, 5-to-1 reward sometimes, because some of those trades are going to go multiple reward. Okay, so that then builds the confidence back up. Test your trading strategy for as long as possible. There are systems and software that can do this for you, but there's no better thing than actually doing this manually. All right, now look, document it, do this. What I did was I got myself an A4 piece of paper. I put winners on one side, losers on the other. Remember, 1-to-1 risk reward ratio here. I'm testing that out. I'm back testing. Now, I go back as far as possible. On this slide here, look, I've only just put 6 winners and 3 losers. All right, you'll have many more. You'll have a bigger sample size than this. I'm just showing you this for example. And look, 6 times it made the profit target. 3 times I got stopped out. That tells me the strategy will make me money. Okay, don't worry about, I know there's going to be people here that are experts in backtesting. This is not the point. What I'm saying here, this is the point to try and build your confidence back up. Because you will instantly see, if it's a good trading strategy, you're going to have more winners than losers. All right? This builds confidence. And then you realize, hang on a minute, this is me that's the problem. I'm the problem here, not the trade strategy. And what it does with the manually you doing it, back testing it, you start to build that confidence back up. And you start to move away from fearful trading. And then what you do, you set yourself a day. So let's say you've done the back testing today or this evening. Okay, tomorrow I am going to start afresh. I'm not a bad person. I've just broken some of the rules. I'm going to learn from those rules. I'm going to move forward and I'm going to follow my trading strategy. I don't care what anybody says, what the forums say, what the news says online. I am going to look at the chart and I'm going to follow my trading strategy as best as I can. The right entry, the right stop placement, and the right exit for 20 days. You want to do the 20 trade challenge. You want to trade the strategy of your choice that you've back tested, and you want to do it for 20 trades. Now, look, focus on the process, not the outcome. All right, focus. And it's really hard to do this, but do it because it will give you the confidence. Focus on the process of the strategy. Maybe write the strategy down on a sticky note and stick it in front of you on your computer. Boom. When this happens, I do this. When this happens, I do this. When this happens, I do this. Boom, there's the result. Winner or loser. Okay, I could have done a little bit better here. I could have done a little bit better there. All right, so then you'll have 20 trades. And at the end of the 20 trades, you'll see, yeah, I've actually made some money. You've got data now to actually work with. All right, now some of those trades may have gone and done 4 or 5-to-1 reward. Yeah, you can see that now as on data. You've got data to play with. The data gives you the confidence. The data gives you, it doesn't take away the emotion, but it takes away the, what am I trying to say here? It takes away any thought that there's anything else involved in it. The data will tell you whether your strategy is any good and whether you can actually follow the trading strategy. Now look, in this case scenario, if you cannot follow the strategy, then there's another intervention. We need to go elsewhere with this, and it's beyond this lesson. But maybe it's one of the other videos. You might want to look at the dopamine one or the ADHD one as well. But you know, if you follow the strategy, and I promise you, you'll build confidence if you can do that. And of course, your strategy, your back testing, you want to do it in the times that you trade. You don't want to do it in the middle of the night. You don't want to test your strategy in the middle of the night when you're not actually taking the trades. But do the 20 trade challenge, guys, and see if it works. Okay, some other helpful points here that might help you. The pilot strategy. I was flying back from, I think it was the US. My brother, in the old days this was, because I was actually in the cockpit on landing back at Heathrow Airport. As my brother was working for BA, you could ask to go up and fly the takeoff or the landing. and there was the pilot and his co-pilot, and he'd had the plane on autopilot as he was descending into Heathrow Airport. And then he started to get into gear as he was coming into landing. He put his cap on, his pilot's cap. He strapped up and got himself all ready, and then he executed the perfect landing. And that really stuck with me, because he was having fun previously and just checking in a professional way. And then when it came to the serious stuff, he put his cap on, his pilot's cap, and he focused on what he had to do, his job. Okay? Now, look, do that. Maybe think about that. When you come to your screens to trade, take that insecurity, that person that's a little bit insecure, and leave that person over there outside the door maybe. You're here to trade. Get into that state. Put your pilot's cap on. Get into state and focus. Okay? You're a trader. And look, if you're somebody that's just having to mess around with trading, it's probably, you're going to blow your account anyway. You know, you don't need to do all this stuff. But if you're someone that's really serious about trading and doing this because you want it to be life-changing, then you might work on things like this. Now, go for a walk, get a break, get some exercise. Exercise really does help if you're really in the doldrums. Be kind to yourself. Believe in yourself, guys. You know, if one other human being has become a successful, profitable trader, then another human being can do exactly the same. And why can't it be you? Why can't it be you? Stop giving your power to the market. Okay, you're just lending the money to the market. If you have a losing trade, the next trade's going to be a winner trade. You never know what's going to happen next in the market. You know, you don't know whether your trade, the next one's going to be a big winning trade. I mean, if you get stopped out, who cares? You're not a bad person. It's just that you took a losing trade. Move on. Move on. Get coaching and be held accountable. It has been proven, if you have a mentor or a coach that you are accountable to, that you will go on and achieve some of your goals, whether it's in trading or in anything else. I'm happy to help you with that, guys. And of course, put some comments in the video of your experiences of fearful trading, because it can be really damaging to people's lives. Share this video with someone who you think's going through the same situation. You know, you could help them by sharing this video with them so they can get out of this fearful trading. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. Give us a like, and I'll speak to you soon.